Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing well and healthy and staying safe. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I've been procrastinating a lot when it comes to filming this particular video about Venus retrograde in Gemini, just because maybe I felt like I needed to piece the puzzles together. And just, I think the message for me recently has been really using my intuition, and my channel is all about encouraging and empowering my followers, my subscribers, to use their intuition to make a difference. So I think during this time, a lot of us are going to be tested in this aspect of knowing the truth, knowing what is right. And because Venus will be in Gemini, it will bring up many different versions of the truth. So let's break this down, shall we? So I do like to give you messages about these energy shifts, especially when they last more than a month. In this case, Venus retrograding in Gemini will be, in this phase during a good 40 days, I would say. So, with the pre-shadow, then the conjunction that's happening, and then when it actually is in retrograde, and then going back to post-shadow, there's a lot of energy coming in. So let me give you some dates. The pre-shadow has already started, right? We've been in it for the last few weeks. So it's from April 10th to May 12th. We will be in the pre-shadow of Venus retrograde. And then as of May 12th, May 13th, it's going to be in its full retrograde energy. And then it feels like it's going to be even more emphasized when it conjuncts the sun on June 2nd and the 3rd. So those are important dates as well, because it's really putting a spotlight on Venus at that point. It's when the sun and Venus are actually going to be meeting. And then we have Venus going back, so direct, on June 24th. But just because it's direct, it doesn't mean that it hasn't finished wrapping things up. It will be in its post-shadow, so June 24th to July 29th. There will be that post-shadow. So we're in this Venus retrograde energy shift. I mean, starting April 10th all the way through July 29th. So what does this all mean? Let's begin. So the pre-shadow phase, which started on April 10th, we're still in it, moving into May. So we start feeling the themes, right, about what this retrograde will represent. So what does it represent? When we look at Venus, Venus is the ruling planet of Libra and Taurus. Venus represents our heart space. It represents the collective's heart space. Where's our heart at? Okay. What is the collective valuing? Okay. I made a video about Taurus energy. So it's all about where are we placing our self-worth? What do we value? This is what Venus is going to be bringing up. Now, when Venus is in Gemini, Gemini is the sign of Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury is the planet of, our thoughts, the way we communicate, the way we think, the way we process. It's our intellect. It's the way we question, the way we explore things on the intellectual level. So with Venus ruling our heart, what we value, what we cherish, what we appreciate, being in Gemini, we're having to really look at the heart and the mind, the connection between what we value, what we love, what we appreciate, versus what we think, what we're getting as information. So it's the heart and the mind connection that you might already start feeling this internal struggle, this internal battle between the two. I always talk about how I feel that way. It's because I'm already picking up on the energies, even if it hasn't started yet. So during that pre-shadow. I think I was picking up on this energy even before the pre-shadow, which started in April 10th. So this heart and mind connection. So Gemini, let's get back to Gemini. Gemini is all about our mind. It's the mental space, right? It's inquisitive. It likes to explore different avenues. It likes to question. It's very intellectually stimulated. Okay, so that means that it gets bored when there's no outside stimulation to work with. It can be restless, right? When it gets stagnant and it's not growing, it needs some type of stimulation constantly. So what does this mean? We're going to be questioning, guys. We're going to be questioning our current situation, what we're currently attached to, what we're currently placing our self-worth on, okay? We might feel like we need to explore other things to feel valued. Also, it's going to bring up where we're stagnant, where we're not growing, right? Where are we having trouble opening up our mind to explore other avenues? So this is not a time to get stuck on one perspective. This is not a time to get stuck on one person when it comes to relationships. The energy is asking you to open up your mind, to expand your horizon here when it comes to looking at things differently in your environment. So here we're speaking of environment because Gemini does rule the third house of our close environment. Now, because we are closed in, right? We are quarantined, we are in isolation. We're going to start seeing things in our environment. We're going to start seeing energies or people's energies in a different way. Now, when we're looking at Venus, when it goes retrograde, it's going backwards. It's going into the underworld. It's exploring, it's reviewing, it's investigating, it's going deeper into what? Into Gemini's energy. Gemini has, like every other sign in the zodiac, has its shadow sides and its light sides. So we are called to explore Gemini's shadow sides, these frequencies, these energetic frequencies. When we look at Gemini's shadow sides, what type of frequencies are we dealing with? What we're dealing with, there's this polarity, right? Gemini represents the twins. There's two sides, right? To the twins, two sides to the truth. So this is what will be known. These shadow sides of Gemini is what will come out, what will be known during this transit. One astrologer that I watch also puts it as the Jekyll and Hyde aspects of the truth. You know, it's the dangerous relationship that we have with the truth, not knowing which side or which person or which energy to follow or to believe at this point. So if you are feeling confused about what's going on a global scale, well, this is where Gemini comes in and asks us to question and investigate and explore. But we do see that Gemini's energy here also can mask and conceal motivations with words that may or not be true, right? So we can be watching something on social media or in the mainstream, and then we get caught up into one perspective and we start getting a little bit overwhelmed with that truth. So it kind of makes us feel like we're letting ourselves be influenced. So this is where we cannot be influenced by what we are getting as information. There's going to be different perceptions to many different sides of the spectrum here. So again, one of the shadow sides of Gemini is, you know, they say the energy says one thing, but it means another. You know, we're always trying to bend the truth in some sort of way. However, there is a high vibe, high frequency to Gemini, like any other sign. And sometimes they can be unbiased, right? If you know a Gemini, it's hard for them to really pick a lane and pick a truth and really understand what they believe in, because they have many different belief systems. They believe in different perspectives and different ways of going about things, different points of view. They're constantly questioning and open and stimulated by different perspectives, right? So there's a problem with this, right? So our mental space here is going to feel like it's constantly changing during this Venus retrograde. And for many people, it's going to be, about relationships. You might start talking to someone, you might start a connection with someone, but then they flip on you. It's that Gemini energy. So there might be also some confusion in there. Why? Because Venus will be making a square. So square is a tension point. It's basically a challenge. Venus is being challenged by Neptune, and Neptune is the planet of fantasy, illusions, dreams. It conceals things, it hides things, right? So during this time, we might have to sort through all this deception and this deceit in our mind. So we need to be careful during this time not to be too reactive, right, to what we're absorbing as information. So we might be communicating with other people as well, and we have to learn how to protect our energy. Just because people might flip-flop, their energies might flip-flop constantly, like I said. So not only in what we're viewing in the media, but also within our environment, things are going to change. People's perspectives and decisions will change. So what's the best way to go about this? We need to be brave. We need to be brave enough to be mentally flexible during this time. And it does feel like a long period of time. When I saw the dates, I felt like we're going through like two seasons. There's spring and there's summer. And then, by the end of July, like summer is hitting August, and, we're almost close to fall. So this is a long transit in my eyes. And I feel like it's going to, again, there's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster of our emotions, because again, we're going with the heart and the mind that's constantly being flip-flopped here. So in this phase, during this Venus retrograde phase, we need to take the time to look at things, okay? Is it the best time to start a relationship, start a connection? Personally, I don't think putting our 110% in a relationship right now, if we're starting something new, is the best way to go. I think we need to be open to new opportunities, to new possibilities. But I think that we need to take our time to really understand ourselves first, and we need to take our time to heal. We need to take our time to figure out what we truly appreciate and what is important to us, what we value. And if we are still holding on to other people's perceptions, if we're still holding on to other people's ways of seeing things, we're relying on other people to tell us how to feel and how to be. Okay, so this is telling me that self-worth, self-love needs to be worked on here. Because if I'm constantly waiting for other people to validate me and approve me during this time, then it's really going to put a spotlight on where that is missing in my life. I need approval constantly from my outside world, because I don't trust myself. But the energy is telling you and encouraging you, the person who has all the answers right now is you. You hold all the answers within you. And also, when we look at astrology, we tend to look at when was the last time that Venus retrograded in Gemini. Okay, so it gives us a little bit of an idea of what was happening during that time in your life, because those themes will be repeated during this Venus retrograde in Gemini. So the last time Venus was retrograding in Gemini was in 2012, around April, May, June. During that time, like this year, 2020, it was retrograding. And, astrologers do say that during that time, if people did start relationships, it was very karmic, right? And for myself as well, I had started a relationship during that time. I had actually finished one and started a new one. So it was very karmic in that sense that there needed to be a lesson learned if I made that decision. So it all depends on you, what decision. You have free will during this time. If you want to stay stuck in a karmic loop, then Venus retrograde will show you the shadow sides to that relationship that at the end of the day needs healing with yourself, the relationship with self here. How can we approach these themes differently? This is what I'm asking, because there are patterns and behaviors and themes that you're repeating from back then in 2012. How can you approach these themes differently? Okay, so this is what I'm going to leave you with. And so here, like I said from the beginning, there's also this aspect to Venus that will be conjuncting the sun. So the sun and Venus on June 2nd and June 3rd. So what will this bring? It will bring a little bit of clarity. Okay, so the sun does illuminate, does help us understand a little bit more. It illuminates the shadow realm, the shadow side. It gives us some type of insight. However, it's still in retrograde, so it's still struggling to see the truth, right? So June 25th, Venus does go direct. There's some type of, resolution. There's some type of energy that's going to fly forward like a slingshot. We're going to feel a little bit more uplifted. However, it's still going to be in shadow until July 29th. So we have to be comfortable with not having all the answers during that time until it reaches its shadow point. So even in the shadow phase, we might feel like we don't have enough information to make that decision, to make that move. There's a lot that's going on in the subconscious. This is what I wrote here. So we need to start being honest with ourselves, because a lot of people here will be going through mass awakenings, right? A lot of people will start seeing the truth. However, you can only see truth when you see it in your own shadow aspects. When you start to really be real and own up to the issues that have been holding you back, maybe since 2012. Again, we're dealing with Venus retrograde energy from 2012. So what's been really hiding in your subconscious mind about your current situation? What have you been denying? What have you been hiding and concealing? What have you been not confronting? Because we're dealing with a lot of confrontational energies here too, where we're being asked to confront things that are coming up in our environment. We are being asked to stay home and not go out and not interact with the outside world. So we're being placed in this energy of confronting. We're confronting what has not been confronted in a while when it comes to our environment. So the people, the places, the things, the energies that are around you and in your subconscious have to be faced. And if you don't face them, then it brings about a lot of challenges in the upcoming months, because it's challenging energy, guys. We have to face the truth. We have to face our demons. We have to face our shadow sides. If we don't face them, it just lingers. It stagnates. Another important aspect here is the north nodes and the south nodes of the moon switch on May 5th. So the north node and the south node have been in what signs? The north node has been in Cancer, right? So where we feel comfortable. We're trying to find emotional security in this craziness. We're trying to hang on to traditions, right? Cancer rules traditions, rules emotional comfort, rules family. However, it's being challenged, but the north node in Cancer will be switching now into Gemini. And so this is not the most comfortable place to be in. Now the south node, which deals with our karma, things we need to let go of, right? It's the collective's past, karmic past. Will be moving from Capricorn to Sagittarius. Okay, so the north node is where we're headed. It's the North Star. It's our destiny. It's where the collective is being pulled to go towards. Okay, so it's going to be in Gemini. The South Node, which is the end of the tail of the dragon, as we see, it's the Rahu and Rohu, right? So we have the North Node and the South Node. South nodes of the moon. Emotionally, where do we need to release? Okay, so the South Node here, we're moving from Capricorn, from the last 2.5 years, going into Sagittarius, which are completely different perspectives, different energies. You know, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. You know, it's and then we have Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. It's expansion. Saturn wants to restrict, Jupiter wants to expand. So we're going from restrictive energy that we're letting go of to, oh, we're now moving into a higher perspective that we need to let go of. So the collective's past belief system has been rooted in Capricorn, right? In the patriarchy, in the authority figures, in the government, in the Catholic Church. But the collective's awakening now going towards what? Going towards Gemini, questioning, exploring different alternatives, opening our minds. And in order to open ourselves to different perspective, we need to drop the prejudices that we have against each other, against ourselves. You know, this search for information is going to come up in the collective. And also, we need to be careful of what we perceive as truths, because we're going to get so much information in the next few months that's going to be flooded. However, now is it's our responsibility to figure out the information that comes to us. What information do we value? What is it that we can take and take as our own and consider it our truth? Because there's many different truths out there, many different points of view out there. But what's your truth is what really, really matters. So we're going from Capricorn to Jupiter to Sagittarius, right? When it comes to the collective past belief system, we are eliminating, we are leaving, you know, that control behind. And we're trying to awaken by looking at things from a different perspective. And again, this feels like there's going to be a lot of energy, a lot of people's energies are going to come into play here. And on a personal level, it might mean that within your own circle of friends and family, maybe people will not be happy about the decisions you make. Because remember, we're dealing with a lot of perspectives. So that's a hard energy to deal with. But at the end of the day, if you know your truth, again, this is what matters. You have to hold on to who you are, your authentic self. Who are you as a person will determine your truth. So I did pull out some cards. I hope that was helpful in any way, guys. I know a lot of you have been messaging me and asking me what this Venus in retrograde is going to bring up. Well, that's what it's going to bring up. There's a lot of transits, a lot of aspects to this Venus in retrograde. And Venus, yes, does rule beauty, relationships, money. But it is in Gemini, so it feels like there's going to be, again, a lot of different information and energies to distinguish what is good, what is bad. It's confusing energy. With Neptune again being there, it does bring in confusion. So the way out, or the I guess the advice from Spirit, based on my interpretation, would be go within. Heal your own shadow work, because if you don't heal your shadows, if you don't heal things and issues that you know that you've held on to from your past, this is what's going to keep repeating itself in your situations in the next few months. So the first few cards here that came out, I did pull them out before I hit the record button. You have a choice. Look at that. Free will. This is our free will choice. But I feel like we are pushed towards this new path. There's a pathway that's opening up. As much as we feel restricted right now in our homes, right? We feel like we can't go out. We feel like we don't have a path opening. We might feel that, but energetically, it is there. Look, it came in the card. It's in the cards. A pathway is opening up. Child, for some of you, this may be pregnancy, but for many of my subscribers and followers, I feel like the child card is something new. This is a new path. This is you releasing the old aspects of who you are. Okay, like maybe you had a hard time with in the last few years. Maybe you're still struggling to find a relationship. Maybe you're still struggling to find a job that really speaks to you and that resonates with you. It's because you're being open. You're being open to who you are, but at the same time, you're holding on to a belief system that is not allowing you to really see clearly. So by really letting go of those old belief systems about how you see yourself in the world, about how people perceive you, really holding on to some attachments that you have in the physical realm, money, your physical appearance, what people say, what people tell you and perceive as their truth, that has to be let go in this new world. So this is all new energy. This is a new beginning with the child. The child speaks of, being in this place of childlike, inner child energy, where we want to follow the inner child. The inner child needs healing for a lot of you, and healing did come up as another card here, because you feel trapped. What happens when children feel like they can't get their way? They feel trapped, right? And so for a lot of us, the inner child feels trapped because of this energy. So a lot of you, it has to do with mother healing. Okay, so the mature woman is coming up. There's something about this mother, or this, it could be a grandmother, it could even be an ancestor. There's this maternal figure here that has not allowed you to open up. It has not allowed you to understand and see things from a different perspective. I feel like this person makes you feel like you don't have many options, but you do. Look, you have options. You have gifts coming. And then we have the main male. For some of you, this is a new person coming through here. But if you're not open to receiving what he has to offer, okay, and this could be you. If you're watching and you're a male, this can be you, where you're still holding on to issues, codependency, due to family dynamics, because I am feeling family, mother issues here. Someone who is close to you with the family room. This is telling me that someone here is in your space that's keeping you trapped. Well, it kind of blocks you. It kind of blocks you from receiving this gift. And I'm not joking when I talk about gifts, guys. Look at this. We got abundance. Abundance here says, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks. This is all mental blocks, guys. And with Gemini, remember, it's all about the mental blocks. Any mental blocks you have in fairyland and in human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. These are limiting self-belief systems that have been brought on by the old ways, the old mentality, okay, old traditions, old belief systems. There's enough to go around, guys. They make us believe that, there's not enough to go around, but there is. Truth is being concealed here when it comes to abundance. So the abundance that we have to be open to receive comes with healing. This is the ticket to abundance, is healing. If we don't heal it, we don't feel it, we have to feel it to heal it. Healing, the healing fairy says, now is a time for you to give or receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. So healing has to be at the forefront in order to receive this abundance. Okay, so abundance comes in all its forms, guys. And whatever you're trying to call in, whether that's, you know, your counterpart, your divine counterpart, as we call it. You're trying to call in a new career, a new job, a new project, a new business. Whatever it is that you're trying to call in, it can't be an energetic match if you're still stuck in your old ways of being, of thinking, of behaving. And look at this, we have the dog and the sun. So the sun is, and with the dog, it's telling me you got to be, you know, this main male, I'm feeling like for some of you, this main male comes in and he's very honest. The sun is all about vitality. It's all about truth, illumination. If we were to get the clouds, then I would say there's something that's being hidden, but the sun is very enlightened. With the dog, a dog here, dog energy is loyalty, friendship. For some of you, you're going to also be given clarity and truth about who your friends are. Who can you really rely on? The dog is loyal. Who are you giving away your loyalty to? Okay, this is what's coming up here. How loyal have you been to the wrong people, to the wrong energies I'm hearing? I will be pulling out some more cards here. Oh, I'm feeling the romance angels. A lot of you are wondering about relationships during this time. Deception. My goodness, we cannot make this up. What did I tell you guys about the Gemini energy? The shadows of Gemini. Be careful. Who are you giving away your loyalty to? Be careful. This is what's coming up. For some of you, deception. For some of you, this is you not being honest with yourself. Like I said from the beginning, self-deception. Someone's wearing a false mask in this relationship. You're gonna have to take off the mask at one point and reveal your true feelings. If you're in a relationship and it's not making you feel fulfilled, well, this is the time to remove the mask, honey, because it's gonna fall off whether you like it or not. And I know the messages are really hard to hear right now, but we're not living in fantasy world anymore, guys. This is the real world. Look at this, reconciliation. Okay. Venus in retrograde can bring in people, places, and things again from the past. Why? Because it's in retrograde. Now, Venus doesn't mean that if someone from your past comes back running to you, I mean, when it's combined with deception, it feels like something needs to be revealed. Okay, so if someone does come back and returns and reaches out and tries to connect, really practice your discernment, guys. Really practice your discernment. We're in a period of healing and trying to figure out our truth here. So if someone does come back, make sure that you don't fall for the shadow side of Gemini, right? That makes things look like all is well and all perspectives are good perspectives. And so just be careful. Someone from your past might be returning to reconciliate. But I'm also feeling like some of you are in the clouds here. Okay, it can also be in dreams. You're getting signs from your dreams telling you that something is not right. Something is not right. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You're getting signs here. All right, the two other cards. This is for the people in my collective who've been following me, who are working on themselves, who've been able to completely detach from karmic partners and who are not waiting for someone to get their act together. No, honey, you got to get your own act together right now, okay? It's all about self. It's all about how you are raising your own vibration. You can't wait for other people to raise their vibration. You got to focus on you. You got to stay in your own lane and make sure you have a good relationship with you. So if you're just sitting around and waiting for people to change, you're going to be sitting around and waiting for a long time. The first card, deception, came up. So for the ones who've been working on themselves, this is really you enjoying this moment and you're really surrendering to this moment. She's surrendering. She is enjoying this moment. She's not resisting it. As soon as we resist the way things look, we're resisting because it's taking time. The more we get more of this energy, we're lost in the clouds. We get stagnated in this type of an energy, because like attracts like. You know, if we're in a hurry and we're in a rush and we're not doing the proper healing, and we're not looking at our wounds and our shadow aspects, then we tend to attract that very energy, right? We tend to attract someone who is not able to look at themselves in the mirror, right? Not able to reveal. So there's a lot of red flags that goes on with a group of people here that are not able to really sit down with themselves and really see what the truth is with the Sun card. So here, chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. You see how the word attraction, attract, is in both cards? Okay, so attraction. Attract. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. How are you enjoying this moment fully? You feel trapped in your home because you allow yourself to feel trapped because, well, this person or this energy tells you that it feels trapped. It feels like you can't breathe. However, freedom, you want freedom, but freedom is a state of mind. It's a state of you feeling like you're just in the moment and you're enjoying this moment no matter what the outside circumstances are. This is how you bring this person in. And look what it says. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. The magnetic bond gets formed once you start getting into this vibration of I am completely fulfilled in this moment. Because if I'm not fulfilled in this moment, how am I going to be fulfilled when I meet this person? I can't be a vibrational match to this if I'm not able to do this. Okay, I'm going to show it to you again. I cannot live or attract or call in a vibrational match. And what does it say here? A magnetic bond and a magnetic attraction. If I'm not allowing myself to be this, to embody this energy for myself. All right, let's get one more card from the Angel Answers and see what they have to say. No. A lot of you, it's a big fat no. For the ones who are still running after crumbs, who are still running after people from your past, who are not giving you anything to work with here. A lot of you have probably been asking about that. So that answer is no for a lot of you. We're still vibrating in that frequency of, I don't want to look at the truth. I don't want to face things. I don't want to confront things. Look at this. Next card was in the next few months. Things will be revealed. A lot of you are going to either vibrate here or stay stuck and stagnant in this. But the ones who heal, the ones who focus, abundance in all its forms will come in. Illumination, truth will come in. Loyalty will come in. Okay, and then the last card, guys, no need to worry. It's all about the mind. We're in Gemini, right? Venus in Gemini. And then we're going to be moving into Gemini season. So, oh boy, our mental space is going to go through some major changes, some roller coaster rides. So we need to stay grounded. Now, grounded means getting into your body and really feeling what you need to feel and not allowing your thoughts to control your actions. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. It is now almost 40 minutes of this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here and tuning in. Please do reach out if you need a personal reading. I have several options. You can check out my website or my Etsy shop down below. I am also going to be working on the creation of my new bracelet. Now the bracelet is going to be basically, you know, helping you all to call in whatever person, energy, anything that you want to call in into your life, really. The friend of mine who was making them for me was just had a child. So I'm taking this as a sign, and a lot of people have reached out recently about this calling in your person bracelet that has been currently, out of stock for the moment, because I don't have someone, I don't have the beads at this point, and I don't have someone to make them. So I'm taking this as a sign that I am going to get into something new. Crystals are a beautiful, tool to help us tap into the energy, the vibration that we're being called to vibrate at. We want to vibrate at an energy that is at a frequency that is this peace, being in the moment, feeling free, liberating ourselves, but also feeling empowered. Because if we don't feel empowered, if we don't feel like we're good enough, then we can't call in that job, that project, that business, that relationship. So I'm going to be working on that, and I'm going to figure out what it could be this. I think it's going to be the same beads as what I was using. We'll see what my supplier can deliver at this point, and I'll give you guys some more updates on this new bracelet. So thank you so much for everybody who's been reaching out recently. Come and join me on Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, where I deliver daily messages for the collective, here on YouTube as well through the community tab. And come and talk to me, DM me, and we'll have a conversation about what's going on. All right, guys, have a great day, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.